Okay. Now there should be audio. I am using the video format, which is something that I plan on doing a little bit more. And as you can see, when I'm doing this, the microphone settings go down. So I forgot to put them back up. But welcome to this week of Stupid Extras. We're going to be talking about a couple of things. I was supposed to talk about the World Economic Forum. Unfortunately, I lost the clips. It has never happened before. I feel actually ashamed. I did lose the clips. I thought I saved them, but I didn't. They were kind of interesting. A couple of them talking about reviewing the concept of human rights. I really like that one. And many other things. Like every time you listen to the World Economic Forum, you wonder like, who in my circle of friends would agree with that take? Like who would vote for something like that? And I can never find that person. Maybe I do have them saved somewhere. Let me check one more time. Oh, you know what? I actually do. I do have a couple. So you guys are in luck. We are going to listen to some of the things that the World Economic Forum has stated. The funny thing is, like, they have the audacity of putting them on their own channel as well, like on YouTube, and it's a shame that we don't have a dislike button. Because they used to have, like, every single one of their videos massively disliked. And I just can't tell why. But okay. Can you guys hear me now? I think you can hear me. Let me do a little background check. Alright. We do have them. So, before we talk about the World Economic Forum, I want to show you something wholesome. Let's start the day with some good news. Looky here. A Neko has invaded an opera house. Neko-chan. Neko-chan, what are you doing? Look at Neko-chan here. Look. Now, what's interesting is that people want to remove the Neko-chan. And Neko-chan doesn't want that. Like, look here. Like, just so you know, this is cat body language for fuck off. Wait, did this lady just smack this guy? It's like, leave the Neko alone? Look at this. Hold on. So, this guy tries to handle Neko-chan. And look at this lady. Look at this lady. It's like, leave her alone. Fuck off. Leave Neko-chan alone. Why is Neko-chan like such a boss, huh? And I'm not playing the sound because I don't want to get a copyright strike. I don't know what they're singing, so I don't want the orchestra to give me any problems. But other than that, you can see the image, which is the important thing. I love that the Neko-chan is actually going to where the action is. Like, it almost knows that this is the most important part on the podium. So anyway, they started singing and Neko-chan just chilled here. The thing is, like, they were singing something very, what is the term? Virtuoso. Yeah, virtuoso. Look, you can see the, when he goes like this, it's really virtuoso. And the Neko-chan doesn't give a fuck. Even though, like, behind her, there's all sorts of loud sound and vibrations. So, yeah. I definitely like this. I wanted to show it in This Week is Stupid, but I didn't know if it would get a copyright claim or not, so I just chose not to. Alright, JD, thank you for the 5 smackaroos. Make sure to ensure remorse. See, maybe I shouldn't have read your name. If I didn't read your name, you'd definitely be remorseful. Like, why did I give money to the streamer who doesn't even read my name? Anyway. My This Week is Stupid got demonetized for some reason. I don't know why. Because I looked at it again, right? There's no topic that I covered which should have gotten it demonetized. And the only thing that I can think of is the beautiful flag, the Ushikushi flag, which I have shown to people. So let's enjoy this flag one more time. Because I thought it's powerful. Like the left likes to say, right? It's powerful. Now, the thing that And the reason like this flag appears is because every single year, someone tries to be more progressive than the other. Because it used to be like a rainbow flag, right? And then they added the black and brown color to it. And I was thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, it's a flag that's supposed to represent sexualities. Like, black and brown isn't a sexuality. And it's like, yes, but black and brown people were oppressed just like the gays. And I'm like, what the fuck are you on about? And then there's like the Marxist thing, you know, where they use this to like, I guess like the trans ideology is more powerful than the rainbow, so it needs to have like its own thing. And by the way things are going, like this is where it's going to end at. You know, like this, in the future, we're going to eventually be at this point, right? You get all the corporations being represented, you know, the furries as well. Of course, the Indian Americans, you know, the hammer and sickle and all that. But the thing is, like, there's no more rainbow. Like, this is why I liked it the most, because it's very accurate. It's like the Marxist ideology eating on what it used to be gay rights. Like, they used to represent the marginalized sexualities, and you don't see them anymore because this is like literally the intersectionality ideology muscling in, pushing in, and co-opting everything that the initial LGBT group tried to achieve. I guess like they have their little corner here with the A. I don't even know what this A represents, but yeah. Oh, one more second. I forgot something muy importante. I forgot to put the chat. In the meantime, while I'm trying to put the chat, I would strongly recommend for my viewers to watch Stranger Things, even if you dislike the previous season. This season seems to be a lot better than others that I have seen. I don't know how they did it. Usually, as the show goes on, new seasons drop in quality. But this season on Stranger Things, wow, this is really good. I'm at episode 4. Mind-blowing. Especially the cinematography, the colors, the story. I absolutely love it. Finland just won the Hockey World Championship. Well, good job, Finland, for winning at a sport that no one gives a fuck. Who watches hockey? Like, the only thing that I know is that I had a friend playing online hockey, you know, the computer game, and you could actually have the players use the hockey stick to beat the other player. And I was like, is this Mortal Kombat? Is that actually happening at hockey games? Like, I think it might, right? Because it's kind of like road rage. Because I seen it in football as well. Like, when people get, especially like young men, right? Like young adult men in the height of their prime. And they get emotional. They get very angry. And sometimes they start fighting with each other. I mean, there's cases where I seen football players go after the referee. So my question is, like, when you also have like a big stick in your hand, which is a blunt instrument that has range and melee damage, doesn't it happen that the players go at it? You misgendered the new press secretary. She identifies as Empress of the Oppressed. No, she is the one that breaks. That's how I call it. The one that breaks. She breaks the glass ceilings, man. Pre-recorded that video, Nani? What is that? Hockey is the only watchable sport around here. Yes, especially with Russia. What, they didn't get banned? Like, is there a sport that Russia hasn't get banned from? Nani? That's news to me. Test your bite. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know I don't know the game mechanic. Like, all I know is that someone was playing the computer version of hockey. This was like during 2005 or something. And I saw the players just smack at each other. You know, like it was a close-up frame and you could just smack with the hockey stick. And I was like, okay, but that does happen in the actual game? It's kind of weird. Fights happen in pro hockey. It's normal and awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, watching it is entertaining. Like, I would definitely find it entertaining to see two professional athletes spanking each other, but I don't know how encouraged that is. Okay. I'll give you a sneak peek for tomorrow's video. I have seen The Boys, and yes, I know, but it's not in season right now, it's in hiatus. Anyway, right, you guys are interrupting an important announcement. Hey, stop what you're doing. Look at the screen. Look here, all right? Just stop playing. Alt-tab, come back, because I got a challenge for you. It's called the You Laugh, You Get Cancelled Challenge. Are you ready to play this game? All right? If you laugh, you get fired from your job. You get banned from social media. Who wants to play this game with me? If you want to play this game, press the number 1 keyboard. You laugh, you get cancelled. Let's see how many people are in on it. Who has the cojones to play this? Let me see. All right, lazy one. He feels man enough. No one else besides lazy one feels man enough. Harambe pussied out. Oh, we got Anibal A. Morales. Red. Oh, that now the brave warriors are stepping into the ring. All right. Remember, you laugh, you get canceled. Are you ready? I'm about to show you. Behold. This is not fake, by the way. This is not for. This is real. The fake influencer trying to inspire real change, coming the world's first virtual social media star with Down syndrome, launches Instagram to try and hit back at filtered and perfect beauty standards online, you fucking bigot. Did you laugh? Let's see who gets canceled. Let's see who got canceled. Oh my fucking god, I managed to train you well. You guys have become unfireable. By watching my channel, you have managed to master your emotions to the point where you can sit comfortably next to the HR lady and you will not get fired. And once you get into the position of power, you will gatekeep. Like the Finland hockey gatekeeper, who, by the way, won the hockey championship. Today, it happened. I have been told. Doug, shut the fuck up. You laughed on the inside. But that's okay, you know. Hello, Spoon. By the way, I always wondered if Spoon is the big spoon or the little spoon. Which type of spoon are you, Spoon? The big one or the little, Are you the big spoon or the Chaquito spoon? Do you think Spoon spoons with his girlfriend? Is there such a thing as a Down syndrome Barbie? No, but it should be. To raise awareness on the perfect beauty standards. Right. I did manage to make you hide your power level. Let's put it like that. Hiding the power level. Yeah, her name is Kami, and she's going to be the world's first virtual. You know, the thing that kind of upsets me about it, I'll probably make a video tomorrow. I may get in trouble. But there are a lot of influencers that do have certain genetical abnormalities, right? For example, Broly Legs. Broly Legs is a famous Street Fighter player. He's got, I think, millions of fans. He plays Street Fighter with his mouth because his arms aren't fully developed. There's another guy, forgot his name. I think he's got like 3 million views on YouTube. And he can't even walk properly, right? He's got all sorts of abnormalities. It's not like you do not have representation. But like the thing with Broly Legs and other people like him is that it's not top down. Like it's not enforced on people, right? Like the man decided to do something and he got fans while doing it. He got people watching and people invested. It was grassroots because they are very talented and they are doing proper entertainment. But with this virtual chica, it's corporate, it's top down. Like you're told that no, you need to like this. We, the company, have created this. We have manufactured this. And exactly, that's the problem. It's manufactured. Yes, Finland. What? Am I trolling? Yeah, Broly Legs. Come on, you know Broly Legs. I have shown Broly Legs on my channel before. He is an inspiration. I'm not even kidding. Right? So, this is Broly Legs. I think he's got a YouTube channel as well. He's one of the best Chun-Li players in the world at Street Fighter, and that's not what's impressive. What's impressive is that he can play using only his mouth, right? So let me see if I can. Yeah. So this is him, right? And again, like, he's one of the top players in the world. Like, he's playing against not just average individuals, but professionals. He goes to tournaments. I think he even won a couple, right? I mean, this to me is inspirational. It shows that if you put your mind to it, like, it shows like, okay, if this guy can do that, why can't I? And he's got millions of followers. People enjoy watching him. So my point is, like, there are individuals which, how should I put this in a politically correct term? Have various difficulties, right, that they need to overcome. And not only do they overcome those difficulties, but they actually become better than the people who don't have those roadblocks. Another example was the guy who was blind. This is another one of my favorite. People call him Kenshi, because there's a character in Mortal Kombat which is also blind, and his name is Kenshi. And he plays just by hearing the sound of the fighting game. So he's got this character that can teleport, and he always teleports behind the opponent. So that's how he knows where he is on the screen, and then uses the sound, the music of the game in order to know how to perform the combos. Right? I mean, this is incredibly impressive. And again, this is a tournament setting. Like, he's not playing with random dudes, you know, to show that, oh yeah, I can play Mortal Kombat. No. Like, he actually competed in a tournament. And he lost because some asshole mirror matched him and he couldn't understand the sounds anymore. But it is insane, right? And these people exist, and I feel that what we saw there with that company trying to manufacture the virtual avatar thing, it takes away from this, right? It takes away from their challenge, it takes away from their wholesomeness, and it's trying to impose on people top down. It's like, no, this is what you need to like. This is the new beauty standard. Blah, blah, blah. Hello, Squid Coyote. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. Tariq, love your content, V. Got a promotion. I wouldn't be an electrician if it wasn't for you saying not to go to university and do trade school. Get the fuck out. Dude, this is the most wholesome message that I have ever got. I wouldn't say in my YouTube career, but definitely within the last 2 years. So you actually listened to me. You actually listened to me, and you got a promotion, and you're now an electrician. You know what? Good for you, Tariq. Good for you. You're going to see that in the near future, bad times are coming. People are going to need gender studies and IT experts, and all that is going to be very difficult for them finding a job. But if you're an electrician, guess what? Everyone needs electricians. I actually stumbled with this problem recently. I needed someone to screw a light bulb. Not to screw a light bulb, to install the whole thing in the wall, right? It was very difficult for me to find the person, and the price that they ask are outrageous. Because everyone wants an electrician. So, yeah, I mean, good job. Yeah, trade school, definitely the way to go. Simply because everyone is going to the university. No one is going to trade school, so... What can you do? Supply and demand. When there's no one, people are willing to pay more for it. Yeah, I pretty much radicalized this Muslim brother in order to become self-sufficient. This is why people come to my channel. I radicalized him into self-sufficiency. Yeah, this is really wholesome. You know what? I'm going to give Tariq a range. This is just the best news that I got all day. You know, I try to entertain people on my channel, but every now and then it does seem that I manage to help someone actually accomplish something important. And that makes me feel great. Where is Tariq? Don't tell me you're Tariq Nasheed, by the way. Don't give me a heart attack. Don't tell me you have a blue check mark on Twitter, Tariq, because that would be even more interesting. Okay, now I got 2 Muslims that are moderators. I got Tariq and Abdi. Are they going to conspire against me? Are they going to socialize and Multiply? Who knows? By the way, I forgot what I wanted to talk about. Holy shit. I'm getting old, chat. I'm getting old like George Bush. Not knowing which person invades what country. I have converted 5 people to Islam over 2 years, says Friedrich Marx. Good for you. I generally don't care about people's personal beliefs, to be honest. I used to be a lot more radical than I am today. But I noticed that when people are atheists, they become progressive. And progressive people scare me a lot more than Muslims just. I mean, Islam does have a track record of making stable societies. Albeit more violent than... compared in violence to how Europe was during the 1900s, I guess. You know, they're very clan-based, honor-based. Honor-based society means that if someone slights a member of your family, you don't go to the authorities, you handle business. But they do function as societies. Meanwhile, progressive ideology, yikes. So between Marxism and Islam, I think Islam is a little bit better. But anyway, right. We were going to talk. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say to Tariq. All right, now that he took my advice and got a job, now you need to find the Ushikushi Islamic lady and do the deed. Tariq, my next advice, multiply, be happy. All right. Like Somalia. Well, talking about outliers, obviously there are nations that aren't doing well right now. But who knows where Somalia will be in 100 years from now? There are certain nations in Europe where 50 years ago they were very undeveloped by modern standards, let's put it like that. I mean, Eastern Europe, holy shit. Under the Iron Curtain, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I'm a non-practicing atheist. Oh my fucking god, this is how I'm going to describe myself from now on. A non-practicing atheist. I'm making Tariq into one of Elon Musk's disciples and getting him to make more children. My girlfriend was Catholic. She's now a Muslim. I love my Jewish and Christian brothers. See? This is the love that we're spreading here on this channel. Don't allow the terms of service to tell you otherwise. Now, let's look at some World Economic Forum hot takes.
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
I have a feeling the elites won't have this individual carbon footprint tracker. And I'll tell you why, though. I'll tell you why they will not have it. Because imagine if you have the individual carbon foot tracker. Oh, it's silent? Oh, shit. Okay, fine. Hold on. Chotomate. Video output capture. Let's go to properties. Can you hear it now?
We're developing, through technology, an ability for consumers to measure their own carbon footprint. What does that mean? Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
I think you heard it now, right? Alright. Alright, I'll tell you what he spoke. Jesus fucking Christ. It's too low. We can't hear it. We can't. Individual carbon footprint tracker. That is what the gentleman was trying to tell you. That they are trying to discover technology to measure your carbon footprint. So they can know where you're traveling, what you're buying, what you're doing, and they're measuring your carbon. That's what he is talking about. Jesus Christ, my fucking God. But you may ask why. Shut the fuck up, man. Okay, so I lived with this. We lived with this in Eastern Europe. It was called rationing. Now, I remember 3 years ago, there were talks. I think it was on Alex Jones and other conspiracy places. There were talks that this is in the works. Like, for example, you go on with your MasterCard, right? Because like the idea is cashless society, right? So you don't have cash, you don't have paper anymore. You just have your credit card. There's no way for you to take money out of the bank. You just have electronic transactions. That's it. So you go with your card and you buy things. And everything you buy goes through an algorithm. Like they know what you're buying, right? And every product that you're buying costs carbon. So, for example, you buy meat. That costs carbon. You take a trip, a holiday, and you're going with the train. That costs carbon. So on and so forth, right? And when you reach your carbon limit, either you pay more taxes on the things you buy, or there can be even an app that just doesn't allow you to buy more. Like, you can have money, but it will tell you, no, you can't buy it because you reached your carbon credit limit. So that is why when the COVID pandemic started, there were a lot of articles talking about cashless society and capitalism failing. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, what does this have to do with the pandemic, right? Why are the journalists talking about this? It's because this is what they want to do. So what you want to understand, all right, like the way conspiracies work in the real world, it's not like in the movies or like there's the shadowy cabal and they actually manage to accomplish everything they want. It doesn't work that way. The way it works is like someone comes up with a concept, right? So the concept is like we need to limit the number of things people can buy. So that is the concept. And then they try to push it through various legislations. And they wait for a crisis. It doesn't matter what that crisis is. It can be a war, it can be like a pandemic, it can be what the fuck ever, you know? And when the crisis happens, they try to push it. If the population doesn't complain, then it gets pushed. If the population complains, then they try to push it another day. Or they try to modify it, they change the arguments, and then they try to push it again and again and again until it gets pushed. That's how politics works. That's how modern politics works, by the way. For example, at 9/11, you know, like the TSA and all of the other bullshit that you have to deal with whenever you try to travel, that didn't exist in the past. But they took advantage of the crisis and they pushed it. They're not manufacturing crisis. This is what I want people to understand. You don't have to manufacture a crisis. There's no need. They happen anyway. Like, in a country with 350 million people, you're going to have crises. You just need to wait. And it happens. I mean... So yeah, problem, reaction, solution. Exactly. So sometimes it can be caused, like for example, in the case of inflation, right? Like inflation can only be done by the government. You and I cannot do inflation. Manufacturers cannot do inflation. The oil sheiks in foreign nations cannot do inflation. The only people that can do inflation are the ones that are printing money. So they can print the money, they crash the economy, and then they have a solution. Right? So it can happen that sometimes you can create the crisis, but most of the time you don't have to. I like this carbon tracker, not as a system imposed on people, but imposed on products. Similar to calories, the CDC will issue a recommendation for daily maximum. Shaming is more effective than mandates. Well, the thing with the carbon tracker, first of all, I don't think that the rich are going to abide by it. Like, I don't see a world where the richest people, like, for example, Klaus Schwab, doesn't take a private jet to go to Davos. Like, I can't envision the world where the wealthy are not going to still use their private jets, use their yachts, and all of that shit. It's just going to be people like you and me that are affected. So, again, we didn't have the carbon tracker back in the day, but we did have rationing under the Iron Curtain. It was like meat rationing, rationing for bread, rationing for oil, food. I think like Eastern Europe was very environmental friendly with all the rationing. But the people in power, like the inner party members, they didn't have to deal with rations. It was only the little people that had to suffer. The upper middle and the upper class, they didn't have to deal with that shit. It is a little tip because you seem like a sad panda on your recent release. This week is stupid. Well, I'm a little bit upset because number one, it got demonetized, and I worked really hard for it. But it happens, like what can you do? The other thing is, I noticed with a lot of YouTubers that the views have plummeted. It's not just for me, but okay, so the Lotus Eaters experienced a massive plummet in their views, and all of this happened 4 days ago. I noticed it. Rags noticed it. The Quartering was talking about it. It can be because of many things. Maybe the algorithm changed, or maybe even people are more interested, because there were things happening in Texas and Buffalo that YouTube doesn't really like it when you talk about them. So people are more interested in that. I can't tell, the Johnny Depp trial, maybe people are interested in hearing more about that, and they're not really interested in, just the average politics that I talk about. Who knows? But suffice to say is that there is a drop in views, and it is a little bit disappointing. Alright, breaking news. This just in. Breaking. Nancy Pelosi's husband arrested in California. How old is he? What crime could he have committed? Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband was reportedly arrested in California over the weekend for allegedly driving under the influence. Oh no, see, this is like the teenager type of crime. Like, I thought that an adult, especially at the age of Nancy Pelosi's husband, would probably have more self-control. Or is it like, he's 82? Who the fuck drinks and drives at 82? Is it due to the social status? It's like, I'm the Speaker of the House's husband. No one is going to fuck with me. Well, I guess some police officer just did. His blood alcohol content level was 0.08 or higher, both misdemeanor. Really? Is this? This, in Germany, he would have been fine. Just saying. Like, in Germany, you can actually drink and drive, but I think, like, the limit is 1 or 2 beers. Just goes to show what an alcoholic country Germany is. But it really depends on whether or not, like, you feel affected. So, like, if you're the type of lightweight that doesn't drink and you get drunk from 1 or 2 beers and the police see that, you're like, yeah, you get in trouble. But, like, if any German in my chat to tell me what's the limit? Drinking under the influence, I don't think it's a bullshit law. Like, I do think, yes, people who are drunk are a danger on the road because it does slow your reflexes. It, I would feel safer if people don't drink and drive, to be honest. But with that out of the way, there's a difference between drunk and tipsy, right? So I think, like, Germany has more of a normal take on this. But again, like, because America is a nation which went under the prohibition, I think you even still have what it's called dry counties in the United States where they actually don't sell alcohol. Like, if you want to buy alcohol, you have to go to a different county. So, whatever. It is interesting, though. It's like, why the fuck would he... I have not heard of many people drinking and driving at the age of 82. Like, it's usually something that teenagers do. And, like, the type of people that are edgy. Let's put it like this. $5,000 bail. Yeah. I mean, usually you take into account the person you're putting the bail on. I think, like, $5,000 bail is, like, what? For the Nancy Pelosi family, it's probably, like, 5 cents. Also, it's rude to chew with your mouth full. It is, though. It is rude to chew with your mouth full. In Berlin, you can buy and drink beers anytime on the street. You can do this in Romania as well. There are some places in the UK, I believe, where it's not illegal, but I think, like, they have, like, the equivalent of an American neighborhood watch, okay? Like Sharia patrols, they call them. And usually the men that do the patrols are very intimidating looking individuals. And they will discourage you from drinking in public if they catch you. But most places that I know in Europe, you can drink on the street as long as you're not causing a ruckus. And I actually had this problem when I went in the UK, I believe, during the Skeptic meetup that happened like 3 or 4 years ago. It was a very beautiful event. And we were, I think, maybe 80, 90 people in Jubilee Park. And we were having fun. It was also during the Gay Pride. There were all the people, you know, parading around with the rainbow flag and whatever. So we were there as well, and we had the Kyrgyzstani flag, and the police wanted to know what that is. Because, you know, if they don't know what it is, it frightens them. And if they frighten them, they become phobic. So they wanted to know what is up with the Pepe. And I actually spoke with the police officers. There were 2 constables. And I told them that it's an internet thing. It's an internet meme. And we just meet up and we're having fun. And the police officer told us, as long as we're not causing a ruckus and as long as we're packing the bottle of beer away, like we're not causing a mess in the park, we're not littering, then it's fine. I handled the situation like a boss, very respectfully. So yes, the Skeptic meetup at Gay Pride. Look, the Gay Pride was everywhere, right? Like it was moving around London. We didn't try to avoid it. We didn't try to intersect with it either. It just ran through us. It was kind of bizarre, to be honest, like to see police officers with rainbow face paintings. For me as a European, it was weird because here the police aren't allowed to take any sides in any political issues. Like the police is the police, right? So, for example, there were anti-corruption protests in Romania. The police weren't part of them. It would have been weird to see a police officer part of the anti-corruption protest. I'm not saying that a police officer can't be against corruption, but in his free time, when he is wearing the uniform, he is a representative of the state, and as such, he needs to behave in a neutral manner, regardless of how popular the subject may or may not be. But in England, it's not like that. In England, you have the rainbow police. Okay. I mean, it's just weird for me. You know, when people ask, it's like, but what is British culture? What is British culture? Well, I guess like cops having rainbow flags painted on their face. That is English culture. You don't get to see that in Eastern Europe. Gypsy drinking in the park. Well, first of all, I'm not a gypsy. And secondly, where can you get 80 people to drink with? Right? Like this is a conversation that I had with the Blizzard employee, with Tatya. I asked him about the cube crawls. It's like, why were people drinking at the office? Because it does sound like a lawsuit in the making. And the way he explained it made complete sense. When Blizzard had 20 individuals working there, they would have gone out into a pub and they would have sang karaoke and they would have had fun, but they wouldn't do it at the office. However, when Blizzard became a larger company and they had hundreds and sometimes even thousands of employees, finding the space in order to get all these people in one place so they can go party was very difficult. As such, they decided, all right, well, we're going to do it at the office. Anyway, right. Sorry, I got pinged on Discord. I had to check what's going on. I thought maybe it's some interesting news, but it does seem like it's something that I can handle later. This is news from the Daily Mail, which I found to be quite concerning. It says, entirely new kind of highly reactive chemical is found in Earth's atmosphere, and it could be triggering respiratory and heart diseases and contributing to global warming, scientists claim. Let me check to see if the article is actually real. Daily Mail, heart disease, global warming. This is very concerning. All of a sudden, these articles are popping up. Oh yeah, it is true. It is true. Okay, so researchers. My God, these researchers, they always come up and save the day. The researchers are saying that there's a new type of element in Earth's atmosphere that could pose a threat to human health as well as the global climate. Researchers from the University of Copenhagen, oh my God, have demonstrated that tyroxides, chemical compounds with 3 oxygen atoms attached, are formed under atmospheric conditions. They exist in the air surrounding us, and they're dangerous, chat. Look. Blah, blah, blah. Lab experiments using a free jet flow tube. However, the researchers expect that almost all chemical compounds in the atmosphere and estimate that their lifespan range to minutes to hours. But, okay, I mean, that's very concerning. The question is, like, why weren't they there before? Like, where were they 6 years ago? And how did they came to be? Isn't that the other... Shut the fuck up. If you get a heart attack, researchers have explained one of the possible causes. You don't want to live forever? What, you think you're in Starship Troopers? Stop LARPing. You do want to live forever. Anyway, all right, let me show you something else. See if I can find the thing. There was another very interesting Ushikushi research that came out. Which I guess I did not save. Why am I so bad with saving things? Ah, there we go. This is beautiful. MIT researchers infiltrated, oh no, a COVID skeptic community a few months ago and found that skeptics place a high premium on data analysis and empiricism. Most fundamentally, the groups we study believe that science is a process and not an institution. Science is a process and not an institution. Oh my God. Indeed. They often reveal themselves to be more sophisticated in their understanding of how scientific knowledge is socially constructed than their ideological adversaries who spew naive realism about the objective truth of public health data. In other words, the deniers value unmediated access to information and privileged personnel research and direct reading over expert interpretation. It is members that value individual initiative and ingenuity, trusting scientific analysis only so far as they can replicate it themselves by accessing and manipulating the data firsthand. They are highly reflexive about the inherent biased nature of any analysis and resent what they view as the arrogant self-righteousness of scientific elites. Many of the users believe that the most important metrics are missing from government-released data. One user wrote, "Coding data is a big deal, and those definitions should be offered transparently by every state. Without a national guideline, we are left with this mess." The lack of transparency within the data collection system, which many of the users infer as a lack of honesty, erodes these users' trust within both government institutions and the data that are being released themselves. In fact, there are multiple threads every week where users debate how representative the data are of the population given the increased rate of testing across many states. These groups argue that the conflation of asymptomatic and symptomatic cases therefore make it difficult for anyone to actually determine the severity. For those skeptics, their approach is grounded in more scientific rigor, not less. Oh my fucking God, it's almost like they're actually human beings. This is the MIT infiltrating. Yes. V, please send me that. The Spoon wants it. The Spoon demands it. The Spoon demands it. Do you want another community guideline strike on your channel, Spoon? Is this where we're at? You want another guideline? Here. Have at it. He wants his channel struck down. This stream I've discovered I'm a bigot and a denier. What else do you have for... Oh, I got a lot of things. Just getting started. There was actually a research at the beginning of the pandemic, which wanted to see like how to convince more people to follow the government instructions, right? To follow the mandates, get people vaccinated. And they found out that left-leaning people, they trust institutions, social media influencers, and famous people, right? So if you get an actor and the actor goes on television and he says, well, I did this, so you need to do it as well, you can convince left-wing people to do that. Right-wingers, however, and I was really shocked at what they said. Like, I genuinely like couldn't believe it, but I guess it makes sense. The thing to win over right-wingers was to not lie to them. Like, tell them the truth. Like, actually, you know, like, state every negative aspect and positive aspect. Like, put it on the table, and that's it. Like, if you try to sell it like you're promoting a product, you know, like, for example, Coca-Cola, right? So Coca-Cola, if you look at the Coca-Cola ad, they will only tell you the positives. They're like, well, it's a safe drink to have. It's a very good beverage. It, you know, is refreshing. It's got some caffeine in it, so you can drink it to keep yourself awake. Right-wingers don't trust that. But, like, if you say, okay, so this is Coca-Cola. It tastes good, but it also has a lot of sugar. If you keep drinking, it might cause a little bit of addiction. It might do bad for your. It might be bad for your teeth. It may give you gastric reflux if you drink it for a long time, right? They're more likely to trust that type of commercial than the one that only talks about the positives. Pataku, thank you for the $5. He who denied the science supplied the science. Oof. Jari for $5. Google why did the kulaks and see the results. Oh my fucking god, do I want to though? And also thank you Kalja Tontu for the 20 euros. You have been most kind. Alright, let's Google the kulaks thing, because now I'm curious. So for those of you who don't know, the kulaks were peasants who owned land. The free peasants, basically. That's how you would put it in a British tone, right? Because you had the indentured service, well, not the indentured services, but like the indentured peasants that were tied to the land, and then you had like the free peasants. So when communists came in Russia, they first targeted the aristocracy, and then they targeted the church, right? So the rich people, eat the rich. And once they ran out of rich people to blame all the world problems on, they moved downwards, I guess like the middle class of the time, which were the kulaks. And this is when they created what is called the Kulak genocide. They killed millions of them. Which is why you have famines, right? Because like if you're wondering like why does communism bring famines, it's like, well, when you get rid of the people that know how to farm and have farmed for generations, well, problems can happen. So let's see, why did the kulaks on Google? Why did the kulaks resist collectivization? I mean, this is a good one. Resist collectivization, and what was the result of this resistance? So resist collectivization means taking away their land. Imagine if someone came up to you and took away your house. It's not even that, like, 'cause when you think about in today's terms, like taking away someone's land, you kind of think it's like, okay, so daddy left me an inheritance and I have some land somewhere that maybe I'll sell later and make some money. Back then, your land was your life. Like, they would literally take your ability to survive. Because what you planted on that land is what you ate. So it was like so tied to what you were doing that it's kind of like the government taking away your bank accounts, taking away your ability to get a job. You genuinely turn into a slave for the government. That's why they resisted collectivization. Why they have to be eliminated. Why they suffer greatly. Why Stalin blamed. I don't find a problem with these search results, by the way. I don't have a problem. I mean, they're interesting topics. I can see, you know, why people would look for them. So I don't know, like, what you wanted me to find, but, like, I'm not upset. I mean, if you are like why did the kulaks were evil or something like that, or why did the kulaks destroy the economy of Russia, then you may have a point, but like that's not what we're seeing, so it's fine. Why did the kulaks ask for? No, it's okay. I don't find like one of the worst examples, by the way, of I guess like Google search pitching. You know what? Where they tell you what you should search for. I did use the incognito tab, by the way. Well, I'm not going to start clicking on every goddamn link, by the way. I get it. But there are other examples which I believe are more prominent, let's put it like that, of Google's bias than what you asked me to search for. Trust Stalin. Oh, like Stalin actually created a party that didn't exist just to arrest people. So I think it was like the Liberty Workers Party or something like that. It didn't exist, but he would accuse people of being part of that. It's what the feminists did. Like this is why I found hilarious. So the feminists created this concept of the Meninist fear, right? Like the Meninists. The Meninists as an ideology didn't exist. This is before they used incel, right? Because at the point like they didn't have something. So they used the Meninists, and you would see articles like complaining, "Oh, this is what the Meninists are trying to do." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Right? Like this guy is part of the Meninist movement, and I'm like, "What? There is no such movement. Like it doesn't exist." It wasn't even like the way people today say, "Oh, this guy is alt-right," when that movement isn't available yet, but like it used to be in the past. No. Like the Meninist doesn't actually exist as a movement. It never did. And before incels, like the feminists constantly talked about Meninist this and Meninist that. Like there were articles. It's like, this is what Stalin used to do. Like he created a completely fictional party, which didn't exist in reality. And then he started locking people up, accusing them of being members of that party. Well, the Gamergate thing, it's like, again, it's a movement that actually existed, so it's not a really good example. I don't think like there's any similarities today where like there's something that genuinely doesn't exist and the media accuses people of being that. But again, like I know from the past they used to do it. No, it's like it's not connected to the Amish. It's not the Mennonites, okay? Like I guess they were like, we're the feminists. And at the beginning, no one had much of a backlash against feminism, right? Because like first wave and second wave were kind of reasonable, but like third wave was the one where hashtag all men are rapists, the patriarchy, blah, blah, blah. But most people didn't know about that. So, like feminists would get like a free reign in society at the point. And because they didn't have anyone fighting against them, and every institution was promoting them, they still tried to portray themselves as a revolutionary movement. But to portray yourself as a revolutionary movement, you need to display that there is some power that's trying to fight you. Like you are trying to fight your oppressor. But they didn't have an oppressor, so they created this Meninist thing. It's like, oh, well, the Meninists are trying to blah, blah, blah. Right? It's kind of funny, like if you're thinking about it, feminism right now has been silently dropped by almost all institutions. Like, no one is promoting feminism anymore. I mean, sure, if you go and you ask a person, hey, are you a feminist? They'll probably say yes, but like, concepts like the patriarchy. Like, when's the last time you read about the patriarchy in a paper? When's the last time you read about the cock and balls in the sky that are keeping women down? Like, you never read about these things, right? Because they don't do them. Like, they don't care. Same with gay people. Like, gay people nowadays are like, meh. Like, no one talks about them. No one cares. Like, imagine if an actor came out as being gay. Like, they would be like, okay. Right? But, because now it's all about the transgender. That's what the conversation is about. Like, I notice how they come in waves, right? Like, you have this wave. It used to be Islam at one point, Now no one calls you an Islamophobe. I mean, I'm looking at the French president, Emmanuel Macron. Like, Emmanuel Macron, if you read some of his speeches, they would have got me for terms of service violations if I would have read his speeches on my YouTube channel 4 years ago. But now he's actively talking how Islamo-leftism is destroying the republic and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, holy shit, Emmanuel. Don't make a YouTube video because you might get a community guideline strike for it. Justify stupidity. You know that word gets you in trouble on YouTube. Like, you're probably on a watch list now. My God, I really hate it because it's like such a LARPy thing. You know, like, trust the plan. Oh, okay. Let me see. How much time do we have left? We got 4 more minutes. I don't even think I got the video left, like an article left for the last 4 minutes. But I guess I can interact with the chat a little bit. Now you take a break from editing music? Now you take a break? Are you a music editor? Maybe you can edit some music for my channel, huh? The problem is, like, I've been trying to find some good music for my channel to use, but it's so difficult because my style is... I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't have a style. That's the problem. I don't have a footing. So it's very difficult for me to come up with music for my channel. And there have been people that tried. But, like, nothing works. Nothing fits. Alright, let's see if I can raid someone. Let me see if anyone is streaming at this point, and I'll let you guys in their care. Are any of the Heaven X girls streaming? Yeah, no one that I know is streaming right now. So I guess we'll end it here. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate the donations. Hopefully you like This Week in Stupid. I'll probably delete it after 1 week because I usually try to delete videos that get demonetized so that the purity of the channel gets promoted by the algorithm. Apparently, like, the algorithm promotes you more if you have more monetized videos. But you'll find the video on BitChute. You'll find it on Rumble, so it's still there. And thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And